Welcome back to the channel, guys. We've got the Rock Rider Easy Rider conversion kit here. If you haven't seen the video about this previously, we took this kind of cheap bike from Decathlon and converted it into an electric bike using the new Easy Rider kit. So that is basically your battery, and then you've got a motor on the front wheel there, and you have got yourself a really kind of cost-effective e-bike for getting around. Now it's super light as well, so you know you haven't got any problems kind of manoeuvring it around, apart from when you're holding a camera like I'm doing at the moment. Anyway, today's video is really going to be about a bit of a deep dive, answering some of your questions from that previous video, because it's, you know, it's got quite a few views now, so there was quite a few questions and bits and pieces that people wanted to sort of know. And actually one of the first ones was, you know, why was it at such an angle in that last video, like the actual mounting system? Well, it's because you actually have like an adjustment here, and when Jason put it on, I think he might have just put it on a different hole here. So you get 3 different holes either side here that you can actually kind of put this on, and that prevents the whole thing from obviously going down. So it's kind of a very stable bracket, but this is just like a kind of a stabilization thing to stop it going down. You know, you can pick the bike up with that, it's not going to come off. And to be honest, this really does depend on what bike you've got it on, whether it's going to be sort of, you know, tilting forward or whatever. But it's not really too much of a problem, because, you know, you can make it work. And I think it looks quite good like that. The other thing was, people were saying, oh, why is it red? Well, we did say about that, that's going to be changed to white. It's not meant to be a headlight, so it's not going to sort of beam down onto the ground, but it's meant to be like more of a daytime running light. You should still use a bike light if you're going out and about. Anyway, I'm going to go on a little ride now. You're going to come with me and we'll talk more about it. Right, let's get going then. So another thing was, you know, how does this actually work if you turn it off or you run out of battery? Well, look, I haven't even turned this on yet, and I'm literally just riding this, no problem at all. To be honest with you, it doesn't really even feel like I have got a motor on the front, so there's not really much resistance at all. There's a little bit, and also it's you know, the front end's heavier. Like I could probably, you know, pull the front up into a wheelie. I can't really do that now because I've got obviously 4 kilos with the motor and the battery on the front setup there. But that doesn't cause any problems. Like, you can just ride this exactly like a normal bike. Yeah, so let's get this fired up, and we'll go for a little ride. When you first turn this on, you have to activate the battery. You turn basically the battery on there, and then you can turn the actual main unit on itself. And we're in pedal assist 3, so we can just start pedaling and we just get that nice kick of power. And it almost feels like, if you were to first try this, you'd probably be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like kind of accelerating. And you can, you know, change that. You can turn this down power level. You don't have to have it on 3. You can have it on 1, 2 or 3. There's three levels. So yeah, absolutely lovely to ride. Plenty of torque, even on level 1. Like, it's just giving you a bit of extra assistance. And yeah, you know what, the interesting thing about this front light is I've been getting stopped so much because people were like, what the hell is that on the front there? So, you know, it's been pretty eye-catching, mainly because, you know, it's red and it looks a bit different. But so yeah, going back to that thing, it will change to white. We will be changing it to white, and then yeah, you won't have any issues with people getting confused that a red light's coming towards them. I don't know why they should, but anyway, as you can see now, I don't know if you can see from the camera, but you can see the display absolutely fine from here. You know, maybe in a later version we'll have a screen that kind of flips up or something like that, but it's not the end of the world. Right now, it's not something that's going to stall us, and, you know, we're not going to get this product out just because somebody said we want a flipped up screen on it or something like that. It's going to be kind of like one of these things that develops. But so the thing about being a front wheel drive kit is that it's super slick, super easy to put on. You haven't got to worry about things like, you know, derailleurs and you know, freewheels and all sorts of things like gearing. You haven't got to worry about all of that. You haven't got to worry about too many spaces in the rear dropouts and all that sort of stuff. So it's so much easier. Having done hundreds of these bike conversions, you know, myself, me and Steve have done loads of them between us. You know, it's more tricky to do the back wheel, and anyone could practice. Well, I say anyone, but, you know, it's very, very easy to do that front wheel conversion. Now, front wheel drive kits, you wouldn't usually have like a very, very high power system on a front wheel drive, because you might get a bit of torque steer, and you get basically traction issues with the front, because the front normally on the front of these bikes is quite light. That's why you see like kids popping wheelies all the time on these mountain bikes, because the front end is so light. That's not really a problem with low power stuff like 250 watts. I say it's low power, but it is basically you know, pretty low power compared to some of the other stuff that we've done. Right, it's going to get noisy over here, so I'm just going to ride past here. But yeah, the point is, you don't really get any torque issues or anything like that with this front wheel. Maybe if you use a throttle and you're on gravel or something like that, you might see a bit of wheel spin and stuff like that. But generally with pedal assist, like you won't have an issue. You got to be careful with any motor powered kind of vehicle, like in the wet and stuff like that. Just be mindful that you have got an extra bit of power going through that front wheel. So and it can feel quite a lot, especially if you're quite lightweight. So yeah, just be aware of that. But it's no problem to have a 250 watt motor with the torque that this has got on the front of the bike. It's no problem with that at all. Right, okay, I'm going to get round here. It's got pedal assist level 2. I'm going to spin around this roundabout and I'm going to go and get myself a little coffee, I think. But I mean, it's just absolutely brilliant. I've been using this for quite a long time now, just literally just, you know, using it to just get down to the shops and just do, you know, little errands and stuff like that. It's just so much easier to just jump on this than take the car out and try and worry about, you know, where I'm going to park. You know, obviously you can't carry as much stuff and you can't go in as many places if you were just on foot. But most supermarkets are fine with you just wheeling in a bike like this now. You don't really want to be leaving it outside. But the good thing about this this system is obviously this bike looks like a normal bike. If you take this battery off the front and take it with you, it's not particularly heavy. You know, you've got yourself basically, like, you could just leave what looks like a normal bike outside. The bulk of the money really is in this unit here, so that's always a thing to bear in mind. You could just lock this bike like a normal bike. So if you get any dodgy characters checking out the bike, they'll probably just look over this because it doesn't look like an e-bike. You know, the thing with e-bikes is you just find yourself, when you first get into it, you kind of find yourself just going out just for the sake of it. This is half the trouble. So talking about the battery, there's quite a few questions about that in the other video in the comment section. This is a 7 amp hour battery, it's 36 volts and it's around 250 watt hours. So compared to the Switch, which I think they've got different versions of theirs, but the highest Switch one is about 180 watt hours. So you're getting, you know, a good solid 70 watt hours more. I've managed to get about 19 miles. If you watched the last video, I did 19 miles of pretty much on full power, up hills, down hills, you know, flat by the river like round here. And I managed like 19 miles, and I think that's pretty good for something that fits on the front of the handlebars here. You haven't got to put it in the triangle or anything like that. To me, I mean, 10 miles going somewhere and 10 miles back is absolutely fine. Even if you did, like, you know, if you had a range of like 15 miles and you wanted to get to work at 15 miles away, or something like that, just go and commute 15 miles. As long as you could charge this, you know, on the train or somewhere else where there's just a normal plug socket, you'd be absolutely fine. The charger's not particularly big or bulky, so it's a very nice, neat, compact charger. So I'll show some stuff about that maybe next time, but basically, yeah, it's very easy to just slip in the backpack and you can just charge it. There were some questions about whether you could charge it from USB-C. Again, we're looking at that later down the line, but if you can plug it into a phone charger, that would be quite cool. I think that's something that will be possible. I'm definitely a fan of having as less chargers as possible and making things just more compatible, so it will be happening, but not for this version, obviously. But the good thing about having a relatively small battery is that you can charge it quite quickly, because, you know, most of these batteries, these cells can handle like a 1C charge rate. So, you know, if this is a 7 amp hour battery, you could charge it in a few hours. Obviously, you're not always going to be completely down on you know, you're not going to be completely depleted, so it won't be flat all the time. It might be like 20%, 40% or something like that, so it won't always take 3 hours to charge, remember that. Oh yeah, another thing people were saying in the video, I was saying about these forks being on the wrong way round. What do you think? I'm an idiot or something? No, these forks are actually designed this way, so they're meant to go that way round. And if you, any of the numpties in the comments that said that, look at the brake discs. They're both on the same side, aren't they? So that wouldn't work if it was the wrong way round. It does make me laugh, some of the comments, people saying, oh, you've just copied a switch kit. Again, it's called evolution, isn't it? Like every product just evolves. That's how things work, guys. Also, don't forget, we were probably making e-bike kits when the switch lot was still at school. All right, on the way back, guys. So yeah, coffee was good. So it looks like it's going to rain. On the subject of rain, as you've seen, you know, in the first video, I think it was, or second one actually, the range test, it was raining. So no problem, all the connectors are waterproof. This is waterproof, this unit. We've used some sort of special sealing around here, so don't try taking it apart if you get it. Also round the back here as well, we're going to have some kind of like a cover, like probably just like a sticky cover thing or something like that, just to sort of stop the water around these screws. No water will get in, but it's just like I was aware that these screws potentially could, you know, start to discolour or something like that. It wouldn't look particularly nice. Also, when you take this off, it's a good idea, you know, you can, I've left it out in the rain, it's been no problem at all. All the hardware is absolutely fine. This main connector, you know, sort of point it downwards so it doesn't get any water in it, and just make sure you knock out any water if it does get wet before you plug it in. Maybe we could do like a cap or something that goes over that. Maybe that's something we can look at. But other than that, it should be absolutely fine. It's fine with the water. You know, not like, it'd be fine with like rain on it, but don't like jet spray it or anything like that. You should never do that with any electric bike. But it's just got a lovely amount of power, and you do actually pedal as well. So you know, you find that you are getting a bit of exercise. It's not like you're just using the electric power. I mean, you can, but just have your legs going round slowly, put it in the right gear, you can just get it to just cruise. It kind of acts a bit like a throttle. This throttle's disconnected, by the way. A nice big hill coming up. All right, so this is a pretty big hill. If you were doing this on a normal bike, you'd be out of breath. Maybe not by now, but you know, by the top of it, you're certainly going to be feeling pretty pretty knackered. But this is just cruising it up, so doing like 13.5 miles an hour, no problem at all. I'm putting a bit of pressure on, obviously. You know, I weigh nearly 100 kilos, so I'm not exactly small, and I'm like 6'3", so you know, at least it's spread out a bit. But you know, it's taking me up, no problem at all. Gone down to about 12 miles an hour now. I'm putting some power on. You know, don't know how much power a human cyclist, average cyclist, puts out. I should imagine it's probably under 250 watts. I'll get the Lycra brigade coming along and say it's going to be like, oh, I can put out 500 or something soon. In the comments, you wait. Anyway, see, I've just breathed up and I'm talking as well. So, you know, it's unbelievable, really. You notice it's worked because the battery kind of bar just kind of dropped that down a bit, where it's working out its average. It's working out how much power it's got left. As you come off the power, you'll probably see that raise up a bit as well. It's kind of normal for any e-bike. Some of them are worse than others, but there, guys. So I'm nearly back. That's going to be about it for this one. If you've got any more questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll continue to do some videos about this. And if you're interested in these as well, they are shipping, I think it should be, Jason's saying it could potentially be like, you know, at the end of July, but I think safely I'd say August. We have got a new page on the website now, which allows you to sort of register your interest. We're not taking pre-orders, we're just going to take like email addresses, and then we'll let you know once it kind of, you know, once it's ready, once it's in stock. So it won't be long now, guys. You'll be able to join the e-bike lifestyle as well. Don't forget, subscribe as well. Subscribe to the channel for more, notifications on, do all that stuff. I'll catch you next time.